20 rock era, the last bastion of American rock. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Genre Bender channel. We are beginning our deep dive into 1963, the year that became America's last calm breath before the storm. This was a time when the golden harmonies of surf rock, the sentimental drama of girl groups, and the clean, polished sound of Motown reached their peak. But behind the scenes, something much bigger was already brewing. We will see how archaic doo-wop, elegant adult contemporary pop, and wild, uncontrolled R&B, which heralded the soul revolution, coexisted. 1963 is a perfect yet fragile balance between tradition and looming innovation. The main question: what was the most influential when the king of rock and roll Elvis went into movies and the Beatles hadn't even landed yet? In this, the first part of our Top 20, we will break down tracks 1 through 20 that define the sound of America from Californian beaches to New York studios. Get ready, this is the Genre Bender and 1963.
Number 20.
The organ that outshone the guitars. One of the most unusual one hits, where the main role was played not by a guitar riff, but by an electric organ. We'll analyze how this track used an unusual, vibrating sound to create a hit rhythm, which was a bold move in the era of surf rock dominance.
Oh, yes, to that sugar shack.
Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs' Sugar Shack. Sugar Shack became an unexpected triumph, topping the charts for 5 weeks and even beating the Beatles in the race for the US Single of the Year title. Its uniqueness lay in the use of a Lowrey electric organ, which gave the song a lighthearted, vibrating quality, totally different from the heavy guitar riffs of the time. Jimmy Gilmer's vocals were treated with an echo effect, adding a dreamy quality to the track.
And now that Sugar Shack queen is married to me, yeah.
The song about a cafe where the girl of his dreams works became a perfect example of simple, yet commercially flawless pop rock. It showed that the American public in 1963 still valued studio innovations and unusual arrangement choices that could stand out from standard rock and roll and surf.
There's this cute little girlie, she's working there.
Number 19. The true anthem of American youth, we'll examine how Brian Wilson based the melody on Chuck Berry's, infusing it with the California spirit, and how this plagiarism almost cost them their career.
Surfin U.S.A. We'll all be planning out a route. We'll all be gone for the summer. We're on safari to stay.
The Beach Boys, Surfin U.S.A.
Everybody's going surfing. Surfin U.S.A.
Surfin U.S.A. is not just a song, but a manifesto for a whole generation dreaming of the California beach, which became synonymous with freedom. Musically, it was the apogee of surf rock, featuring Brian Wilson's signature layered vocal harmonies. However, the melody was a direct adaptation of Chuck Berry's hit Sweet Little 16, leading to a legal scandal in which Berry was credited as a co-writer.
We're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our...
Despite its controversial origins, the song cemented the Beach Boys' status as the leading representatives of American youth culture and positioned them as the main rivals for all future invaders. It became the purest example of American optimism and carefree spirit.
Number 18.
Country and pop, an emotional bridge. We'll analyze how this song became one of the most popular crossovers, bringing the melancholy and lyricism of country music into the mainstream pop charts, and why its poignant vocals resonated so deeply.
I wake up in the morning and I can't understand. No, I can't understand.
Skeeter Davis, The End of the World.
My heart go on beating.
The End of the World became one of the greatest ballads of 1963, successfully bridging the gap between country and pop music. Performed by Skeeter Davis with poignant, sincere melancholy, the song used classic orchestration with choir and strings to create a feeling of cosmic sadness. The lyrics, comparing the end of personal love to the end of the world, resonated with both the conservative country audience and the broad pop public.
The birds go on singing.
Unlike the teenage drama of girl groups, this presented a more mature, tragic emotion. The track's success proved that listeners craved classic, tender ballads that could serve as an emotional refuge from the fast-changing world of rock and roll.
Don't they know it's
Number 17. The Sound of a Droplet. Instrumental elegance inspired by nature. We'll examine how this track, with its unique sound effects, the sound of rain, and unusual baritone vocal, became one of the year's most memorable ballads.
The only girl I care about is gone, she took my heart.
The Cascades, Rhythm of the Rain.
Rhythm of the Rain is the perfect pop ballad known for its atmosphere and unique arrangement, which included the sound effects of thunder and rain. The song, which became an international hit, stood out for its unusually low, velvety baritone vocal and clean, almost orchestral structure.
I wish that it would go and let me cry in vain.
The Cascades, a band from San Diego, created a track that was far from Californian surf rock. It was a romantic, sad song. Its popularity in 1963 showed that the American charts were still open to emotionally complex, melodic ballads that utilized studio techniques to create a cinematic, profound mood.
Hey, won't you tell her that I love her so? Please ask the sun to set.
Next, number 16. Contested Harmony. A classic girl group track. We'll examine how perfect doo-wop and female harmonies created a hit that, years later, became the source of the biggest lawsuit in rock history, acclaimed by Bright Tunes Music. The Chiffons, He's So Fine.
He's So Fine is one of the cleanest and most memorable hits of the girl group era. Its power lay in the perfect combination of gentle vocals, classic doo-wop harmony, and a simple, catchy chorus. The song, released by the Chiffons, became a benchmark example of female vocal pop. However, it later entered history not just as a hit. In the 70s, its melody was recognized as identical to the melody of My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. This song vividly demonstrates how closely musical ideas were intertwined in the studio system of the 60s and how easily memorable melodies became the basis for success.
Next, issue 15. Sweet Melancholy. The return of the classic crooner. We'll examine how Bobby Vinton, rock and roll's main competitor for the adult audience, cemented his status with this timeless, velvety ballad, which became a symbol of mature romance.
But when she left, but in my heart there'll always be
Bobby Vinton, Blue Velvet.
and I still can see blue.
Blue Velvet became a landmark track in Bobby Vinton's career, establishing him as the king of sweet melancholy. It was a reworking of an old standard, but Vinton breathed new life into it with his velvety vocals and lush orchestration. Unlike garage rock or energetic Motown, Blue Velvet was music for adults, elegant and controlled.
She wore blue velvet.
The song, named after the fabric, became a symbol of refined, mature romance. Its triumph on the charts in 1963 showed that despite the growing dominance of youth genres, there remained a huge space in the market for traditional American pop and ballads.
Precious and warm a memory.
Next, number 14. The Innocent Dialogue. The most popular duet of the year. We'll analyze how Paul and Paula created their signature style through a naive, sweet dialogue between lovers, which became the embodiment of pure teenage romance before the British invasion.
True love means planning a life.
Paul and Paula, Hey Paula.
Love means waiting and hoping that soon, my love. Hey, hey, Paula.
Paula is the quintessential innocent, dialogue-driven pop duet of the early 60s. Paul and Paula, real names Ray Hildebrand and Jill Jackson, achieved incredible success with this song, which sounded like a personal, touching conversation between teenage lovers. The simplicity of the melody and the purity of the harmonies made it an instant hit. However, its style was so innocent and old-fashioned that it began to feel outdated by the end of 1963. Nevertheless, Hey Paula remains a perfect example of the American pop music that reigned on the charts just before British groups brought a more cynical and complex view of the world with them.
I've been waiting for you.
Next, number 13. Birth of a Superstar. A 13-year-old blind genius and his explosive live debut. We'll examine how Motown, by releasing a live recording, instantly transformed Little Stevie Wonder into a national sensation and cemented its reputation as a hit factory. Little Stevie Wonder Fingertips PT2.
The song, yeah, just one more time till I come back.
Fingertips PT2 was the first hit and a true breakthrough for 13-year-old Stevie Wonder. Crucially, it was a live recording, showcasing his incredible, unbridled energy and virtuoso mastery of the harmonica and vocals. This track, built on a looping rhythm and an improvisational R&B jam, stormed the charts. In contrast to Motown's polished studio sound, Fingertips was raw and chaotic, which made it revolutionary. The success of this single cemented Motown not just as a producer of pop hits, but as a source of genuine, live R&B power capable of producing geniuses who did not fit standard molds.
Next, number 12. Jazz and Folk on One Stage. The most unusual instrumental hit of the year. We'll analyze how the blend of traditional jazz Dixieland and folk revival motifs led to an unexpected crossover that became an anthem for New York. The Village Stompers, Washington Square.
Washington Square is a unique instrumental crossover that broke into the charts by blending Dixieland jazz with the aesthetic of the folk revival. The Village Stompers, a group from New York, used traditional jazz instruments banjo, clarinet, trombone, but presented the music in a light, catchy manner. The track, named after the famous square in Greenwich Village, which had become the center of the folk movement, became an anthem for that New York district. Its success underscored how diverse the musical landscape of 1963 was, proving that instrumental music, especially that which appealed to American musical roots, could still dominate the pop charts.
Next, number 11. Gospel-Drenched Soul. The early greatness of Curtis Mayfield. We'll examine how the Impressions, using gospel-inspired harmonies, created one of the first and purest soul hits, paving the way for future generations.
Whoa, it's alright. When you wake up, hide your glow, and surely something's gotta come to you.
The Impressions, It's All Right.
Alright, have a good time, 'cause it's alright.
It's All Right is one of the most important early soul hits, showcasing the genius of Curtis Mayfield. The song was characterized by its lightness, positive mood, and, most importantly, harmonies clearly inspired by gospel music. The Impressions utilized a cleaner, more spiritual, and less raw sound than traditional R&B. Mayfield's vocals, full of hope and optimism, made the track instantly recognizable.
When you move it slow, it sounds like
The success of It's All Right established gospel-based soul music as a commercially viable genre, becoming a crucial link between the doo-wop of the 50s and the sophisticated soul of the 70s to come.
whoa, it's alright. Everybody clap your hands.
We are now approaching the equator. We've made it through half of our list. We've seen the peak of surf rock, the Motown explosion in the form of Stevie Wonder, sweet pop ballads, and the poignant drama of girl groups. 1963 is a perfect, yet fragile balance.
Number 20, Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs' Sugar Shack, a hit utilizing the unique sound of the Lowry electric organ. Number 19, the Beach Boys' Surfin U.S.A, the anthem of Californian youth that became the subject of a lawsuit by Chuck Berry. Number 18, Skeeter Davis, The End of the World, a great country pop ballad about the end of a personal love. Number 17, the Cascades' Rhythm of the Rain, a pop ballad with atmospheric rain sounds and baritone vocals. Number 16, the Chiffons' He's So Fine, a girl group classic perfect harmonies and the subject of a future scandal. Number 15, Bobby Vinton, Blue Velvet, a romantic pop ballad that became a symbol of mature romance. Number 14, Paul and Paula, Hey Paula, a naive and sweet dialogue duet, the embodiment of teenage romance. Number 13, Little Stevie Wonder, Fingertips PD2, the explosive live debut of the 13-year-old Motown genius. Number 12, the Village Stompers' Washington Square, an instrumental crossover of jazz and the folk revival. Number 11, the Impressions' It's All Right, an early soul hit infused with gospel harmonies by Curtis Mayfield. We've crossed the equator of our top 20.
Ready to continue. Next, number 10, the velvety voice of pop. We'll examine how Andy Williams, using his velvety voice and mastery of orchestral arrangement, transformed simple ballads into golden hits, holding his ground against the onslaught of rock.
Only me, 'cause no one else can take
Andy Williams, Can't Get Used to Losing You.
you no matter what I try to do. Gonna live my whole life used to losing you no matter what I try to do. Gonna live my
Can't Get Used to Losing You is an impeccable pop ballad, becoming another hit for Andy Williams. He was a master of traditional pop, and his music was aimed at a more adult and conservative audience. The song featured soft, controlled vocals and lush orchestration. While rock and roll was becoming louder and more chaotic, Williams offered listeners polished, elegant music.
through loving you.
The success of this track shows how strong the adult contemporary market remained in 1963 and how traditional performers successfully competed with youth genres by offering high-quality renditions of classic ballads.
What I try to do. Gonna live my whole life through.
Next, number 9, the drama of revenge. The most aggressive girl group track. We'll examine how this song, with its theme of revenge and loud, threatening vocals, gave the girl group genre a new, bolder sound. The Angels, My Boyfriend's Back.
My Boyfriend's Back is one of the boldest and most energetic hits in the girl group genre. The song had an aggressive, threatening tone. The heroine warns her rival that her boyfriend is back, and now she's going to get what she deserves. The vocals were loud, emotional, and less sweet than those of the Chiffons or the Shirelles. The track's success showed that the genre could be about not only innocent love and suffering, but also about strength, revenge, and teenage struggle. This song became a symbol of growing confidence in female vocal pop and one example of how girl groups began to use more dynamic, rock-oriented rhythms.
Next, number 8, cultural crossover. The most unusual hit of the year. We'll analyze how a Japanese ballad about nostalgia became the only non-English language song to top the US charts, and how the performer's tragedy made it timeless. Kyu Sakamoto, Sukiyaki.
Sukiyaki, real title Yuo Mutaru, is a phenomenon of 1963. It is the only song in the Japanese language ever to top the Billboard Hot 100. Its success was due to the clean, beautiful melody and the sincere, emotional vocal delivery of Kyu Sakamoto. The song, despite its cheerful sound, was dedicated to deep nostalgia and sadness. It proved that the American public was open to non-English music if it possessed sufficient melodic strength. The track became a symbol of cultural exchange, and Sakamoto's tragic death many years later cemented its cult status.
Next, number 7. Drama by Quincy Jones, a continuation of the teenage drama series. We'll examine how Leslie Gore, working with Quincy Jones, created a hit about heartbreak using powerful but clean orchestration characteristic of the end of the American pop era. Leslie Gore, She's a Fool.
Lucky girl, got the best thing in the whole world. She's a fool.
She's a Fool is another hit that continued the theme of teenage drama, performed by Leslie Gore and produced by Quincy Jones. The song about jealousy and compassion for a friend who is too foolish to realize her boyfriend is cheating cemented Gore's status as the primary vocalist specializing in emotional yet clean pop tracks.
But he's supposed to be mine. It's my party and I'll
The arrangement featured a typical Jones balance, powerful backing vocals, and orchestral elements that gave the song a cinematic scope. This track is a great example of clean American pop rock that was already on the verge of being swept away by the British, more guitar-oriented groups.
got a love that's hard to find.
Next, number 6. The Harmony of Philadelphia, the perfect example of Philadelphia doo-wop. We'll analyze how the Tymes, using layered, almost operatic harmonies, created one of the most romantic and technically perfect ballads of the year.
I tell you, I need you all so much.
The Tymes, So Much in Love.
My touch when we walk, so much love have we two, just can't wait.
So Much in Love is one of the most brilliant doo-wop ballads and an early example of Philadelphia soul. The Tymes topped the charts thanks to their incredibly clean and rich harmonies. The song, built on a tender, almost a cappella intro, was the embodiment of pure, sincere love. Unlike hard R&B, romance and vocal mastery dominated here.
I love you, my darling.
The success of this track proved that listeners still appreciated the complexity and tenderness of doo-wop vocal groups, and that this tradition would continue in the form of sweet soul, which would become Philadelphia's calling card in subsequent years.
Are we two, no one else but me and you, so
Next, number 5. The Mystical Ballad, the most debated folk song of the decade. We'll examine how Peter, Paul and Mary turned this children's story about a dragon into a cult hit that sparked decades of controversy over its hidden meaning.
Cover their flags when Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff
Peter, Paul and Mary, Puff the Magic Dragon.
and go on a leaf. Puff the magic dragon. A dragon lives forever, but not
Puff the Magic Dragon is one of the most iconic folk ballads. Originally conceived as a children's story about a dragon living by the sea, it became the subject of countless debates about a hidden, drug-related subtext. Regardless of the interpretation, the song, performed by the trio Peter, Paul, and Mary, conquered the charts with its clean, multi-part harmony and acoustic simplicity.
go on a leaf. Together they would travel.
The track's success confirmed the powerful influence of the folk revival in 1963, which, alongside rock, offered listeners more meaningful and lyrically profound music, often in a package accessible to a broad audience.
Not so little boys, painted wings and giant.
Next, number 4. The Political Message, the shift in the folk paradigm. We'll examine how Peter, Paul and Mary, by recording a song by the then little-known Bob Dylan, turned it into a national protest anthem and marked the arrival of political folk into the mainstream.
How many years can some people exist?
Peter, Paul, and Mary blowin' in the wind.
Can a man turn his head and pretend that he just... The answer is blowing in the wind.
Blowin' in the Wind is a historical moment in 1963 pop music. This song, written by the young Bob Dylan, became a national hit thanks to the performance by the trio Peter, Paul, and Mary. For the first time, the deep political and philosophical message of folk music entered the mainstream. The lyrics asking eternal questions about peace, war, and freedom instantly turned the song into an anthem for the civil rights movement.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
The track's success marked a paradigm shift. Music was no longer just about love and dancing, but became a tool for social commentary. It also marked the first widespread public recognition of Dylan's genius, who himself moved away from simple folk in favor of more complex rock in later years.
How many times must a man...
Next, number 3. A classic surf instrumental. One of the most recognizable riffs in rock history. We'll examine how the Chantays, inspired by the sound of an ocean wave, created a classic surf rock instrumental that became a template for the genre. The Chantays' Pipeline.
Pipeline is the purest example of instrumental surf rock. The song, written by the Chantays, is instantly recognizable due to its signature, resonant guitar riff, which is believed to imitate the sound of moving through the pipe inside a massive ocean wave. Unlike the pop-oriented surf of the Beach Boys, Pipeline focused on atmosphere and guitar mastery. It showcased the aggressive, wet sound that became the genre's trademark. The success of this track cemented surf rock's reputation as music that was not only fashionable, but also technically complex and atmospheric, created to accompany sport and adrenaline.
Next, number 2. The Last Breath of Doo-wop. Beautiful, clean doo-wop. We'll examine how this track, with its perfect harmonies, became one of the last major hits of the street vocal style before it was displaced by Motown and the British invasion.
And I'm so lucky 'cause I found a girl like you.
Randy and the Rainbows' Denise.
I'm in love with you. Everybody.
Denise is a beautiful, clean example of doo-wop that became one of the genre's last big hits. Randy and the Rainbows, a quartet from New York, used the classic street vocal structure, high falsetto, a rhythmic beat set by the voice, and layered, smooth harmonies. The song stood out for its naive romance and melodiousness, having nothing in common with the aggression of rock or the complexity of soul. Its success in 1963 was a kind of farewell to an era. Doo-wop, which dominated the 50s, could not withstand the competition from the more dynamic and modern sounds approaching from Detroit and Liverpool.
Next, number 1. Interlude 20. The Elegant Finale. Another technically perfect ballad from the Tymes. We'll analyze how they, eschewing hard R&B, chose a classic standard and gave it the tenderness of sweet soul for a wide audience. The Tymes' Wonderful, Wonderful.
This is the face, even in dreams.
Wonderful, Wonderful is the second Tymes hit in our top 20 and a wonderful example of their signature sweet soul. The group took a classic 1950 seconds pop standard and reworked it using their signature, impeccable Philadelphia harmonies. Unlike R&B, romance and vocal purity dominated here.
She is there, I'll search forever.
This song became a bridge between traditional pop and new soul, demonstrating that vocal groups could be commercially successful by offering emotional depth and technical mastery. The track's success cemented the Tymes as one of the chief romantics on the 1963 music scene.
She is there. I'll search forever.
So, our first part is complete. We've seen how American music tried to find a balance between elegant pop, carefree surf rock, revolutionary Motown, and political folk. But the main events are yet to come. 1963 has only just begun. We've analyzed 20 key moments, but there's one more important point to make before we move on to part 2 of the revolutionary year of 1963. Don't forget to subscribe to the Genre Bender channel so you don't miss the rest. See you soon.
If you liked the video, like and subscribe. There will be a lot of interesting things.